Hello guys, and welcome back to Football Manager 2023, and welcome back to the series here in Switzerland as the manager of Grasshoppers. Hopefully you enjoyed last episode. Last episode we took on our 2000th game in management. It was a Zurich derby as well, and it was an absolutely fantastic win over Zurich in that derby. We've played a little bit further into the season than you'd think, obviously because we were back early for that episode. So I've played through to the point where the league does split. And we'll have a quick overview of that. We've also lost a player. Jordan Hunter has gone back to Wolves. It was only a 6-month loan. We've brought in another one on loan from Wolves again, obviously with them being our parent club. There's a little bit of cover. We nearly lost Kotowski. We nearly lost him. He was on his way to Metz. His minimum fee release clause was met. Fortunately, he decided to stay with us. But you can see we are now 2015 games in. So we have done 15 games since you were last with us. And if we go over it, it's been very successful. Of course, that 3-1 win over Zurich when you were here last. We then took on Luzern, and it was a 2-0 win over Luzern in this one. Savonin and Mokhtari with the goals. We left it really, really late. It was a fairly even game in terms of XG. We were much better, but we left it very late. But we picked up a fantastic 2-0 win there. 2-2 draw with Servette. A little bit disappointing with this, considering both the goals we conceded were in injury time at the end of both halves, unfortunately. Again, it was another fairly even game. However, XG wise we were again better. Kotowski and Savonin on the score sheet again. Savonin's really been chipping in with goals from corners, which has been great. Another disappointing performance from Moretti though. We've actually dropped Moretti now. He's now second choice, unfortunately. We took on Servette again in the Swiss Cup, beat them 1-0 this time. But league wise it was Thun. A 2-0 win this one. Guilo and Pena, the two wingers, getting there on the score sheet. You can see we brought Guilo back in for this one. Dominated the game, absolutely dominated the game. And we followed that up with another fantastic win against St. Gallen, 4-0 in this one. Guilo on the score sheet again. Vizek did score an own goal, but Pena and Costanantu did get two late goals for us to make it a very, very comfortable performance. Again, it's another game which we've absolutely dominated. Vaduz were next, 1-0 in this one. A little bit of a closer game. We've had loads and loads of shots. We just don't hit the target enough. But Pena's picked up Man of the Match award. Kotowski on the score sheet again. And it's kept some momentum going for Grasshoppers. We followed that up with a shock win, really. 3-0 away from home against Basel. We were helped by them having a player sent off in the 34th minute, obviously. Savonin Demiri, who is a young player that we've got coming through the academy here. And Kotowski on the score sheet. Another good performance. We were very good defensively, which obviously helped us out. And that's a little bit of revenge for Basel beating us 2-0 at our place earlier on in the season. Did draw the next one, though, against Sion. 1-1 in this one. Kotowski with the only goal of the game for us. Frey did put them ahead. They also missed a penalty through Rossell, which absolutely helped us. They were the better team, though. We were poor in this one. Not too bad going forward. You can see Jordan Hunter got the start in this one. It's disappointing to drop points, but we've remained unbeaten. Our total unbeaten run, if you ignore the friendlies, actually was just league-wise 14 games, which was absolutely fantastic. And after Sion, it was a 1-0 win against Neuchâtel Xamax. 1-0 in this one. Jordan Hunter with the only goal of the game. Poor quality game, really, all round. Yeah, it was just a poor quality game, but thankfully we did pick up the win. We then had the little winter break that they have here in Switzerland, and we followed the winter break up with a 1-1 draw against Young Boys. We did take the league through Guilo, but Wisniewski did get the equaliser for Young Boys. We restricted them to just that one shot on target, and it has gone in the back of the net. Denesi picked up the man of the match for Young Boys. Good result against Young Boys. They are without a doubt the best team in Switzerland. We've seen that with the league history and how many they've won. But thankfully for us, it seems to keep happening in these nations that we go to. The big boys have an off-season when we get here. And it's been the same with Young Boys this season. 2-0 in the derby again. Zurich, Kamara with an own goal and Kotowski in the 80th minute. Another very, very close game in terms of shots. We were better XG-wise, but, very close. We did lose in the cup, though. We got thumped after extra time by Lausanne. It was very disappointing. And we followed that up with a draw in the league again against Lugano. We had to rescue this one, really. Lugano down near the bottom of the table somewhere, and we had to rescue it through Guile in the 75th minute. He had a fantastic game, man of the match, which was really good. Did beat Servette 2-0, though, which was obviously good. Savonin and Katowski with the goals. They had a player sent off in the 84th minute. I think it might have been for the penalty, to be honest, but we dominated the game and picked up the win. But the last game of the season against Luzerne, unfortunately, it was a 1-0 defeat. We finally lost after 14 games unbeaten, and it was Arthur Fischer with the only goal of the game in the 48th minute. Savonin was sent off in the 60th minute. We had a lot more shots than Luzerne. Just, again, story of our lives. We're not hitting the target enough. Katowski's done okay, I suppose. Okay, Peña's actually had a poor game in this one. I've been impressed by Peña. He's done very, very well. So that brought us to the end of the Super League, the regular season. And if we have a look at that, we did actually finish top of that by 3 points over Luzerne. Young Boys a further 4 points behind, so they are having a little bit of an off-season. Basel just scraped in 5th place. So we've got a top 6. We've got a top 6, which is what we're moving into now. We're moving into this championship group. Team start with 100% of the points, as you can see. I think we play each team, I want to say once. That's the playoff championship group. No, we play each team twice, so we've got another 10 games left to go before we get into the point where we could potentially win the league. But we are in this championship group now, which is really, really good. Katowski still the top scorer in the league, only on 16 though. He's not really kicked on. Peña's picked up 7 assists. Hunter's picked up 5. Like I say, he has gone back to Wolves now. Unfortunately, he didn't want to come back, or Wolves wouldn't let him come back. As I say, Constantino has had a fantastic start to life here in Switzerland. He's a really good player. I'm quite pleased with him. Former Chelsea, so you'd expect that in all honesty. Transfer-wise, like I say, not really a lot gone on. There's been a lot more go-outs. I'm just sort of clearing players out, really. They're all sort of fringe players who don't feature for me. In terms of ins, there's only been Raphael Osho who's come in as a replacement for Jordan Hunter. Obviously, he's expecting to get first-team football here. That's part of the loan agreement that we do have with Wolves. But he's not quite as good as Sam Katowski, so he's actually the backup as things stand. In terms of goals throughout the squad, obviously Katowski's up there with 7. Savonin, centre-half, is the next best scorer with 6. Guilo, these guys are out on loan. Peña's only got 2, but he has got 8 assists, which is really, really good. I didn't realise that Souleymane Diouf has got 22 assists in 30 appearances out on loan at Diambars FC, who I believe are a Senegalese side. They are. Picked up 22 assists, which is really good for a lone player. So yeah, it's going okay. It is going okay here in Switzerland. Like I say, Young Boys are having a poor season. If we have a quick look at their schedule for their senior squad, obviously they've had European competition as well, which has really, really helped. But draw, draw here with us, lost to Neuchâtel Xamax. They've had not the best of seasons in terms of the Super League, which has really helped us out. They are still the best team in the league, though, by a country mile. But in terms of how we've performed and the players that we've brought in, we've actually brought ourselves down to 34s. Now, that is going off performance. Constantino is also in the Media Dream 11 now. Young Boys are still heavy favourites to win the league. So don't count them out of it as things are. But today we are going to do a double header. We're going to do the first game and the last game of this Super League Championship group. Obviously, see where we end up. We need to be in that top 2 to get into the Championship playoffs so we can tick Switzerland off. But we are going to start off against Luzerne. They have just beat us 1-0, so this will be a good little test. And this is the lineup that we're going to go with. So it's going to be pretty much ever present. It's going to be Gosselin in goal. He's had a really good season. 16 conceded in 22, 10 clean sheets, which is really good. Right back is Rosman. Again, been quite impressed with Rosman. He's got a green rating over here as a 7 in terms of the league. Could do with more assists, but obviously his crossing is not the greatest. But defensively, he's been quite good. We've got a little bit of a change at centre-half position. We've actually got Savonin, who is suspended, and Yannick Jarosz has had a pretty long-term injury. He's been out for a little while. With this one, he's been out for 3 months so far, so he's still coming back, a broken ankle, which I think he picked up in training. So centre-backs do look a little bit different today. We're going with Chris Afuli on one of the centre-halves. Again, not the greatest player, so we are struggling there in terms of centre-half. And Karels is the other one. Again, not really the greatest player in the world, the South African, but it's the best that we've got in terms of backups. Left back is Bauhofer, again, pretty much an ever-present this season. He's done okay. He's getting better as the season goes on, as you can see by his form here. He has the odd off game, but then he has a really, really good game every now and then. So again, that's an area that could be better, but it is okay. Paulinho has had a good season. For his position as a defensive midfielder and defend, to pick up a 7 rating is pretty good. He's got 2 assists. Obviously, he's not really there to do that. He's there to sit in front of the back 4 and stop them. Constantino, like I said, has had a fantastic season. I think he's a really good player. Possibly look to bring him to Belgium with me if I can. When we get there, of course. Bugman on the other side, again, had a decent season. He's missed a few games through injury, but he's done okay. Wingers, like I say, we've brought Guilo back in for Moretti. He's not played very well at all throughout the 12 games he had. A 6.62 is just not good enough. So we have got Guilo back in there. Pena doing very, very well. Quite pleased with Pena. 7 assists, which is fantastic. He's sort of keeping Esteban out the squad. Esteban doesn't really feature much for me, Moises Esteban, despite the fact I think he is a very good player. And then up top, it is Kitowski, of course, slowed down a little bit in his goal scoring, but he's still the main man up top. Right, into our first highlight. It's been a very, very quiet game. We've had 1 shot so far. Chris Fully does lift that one for Mendoza, though, with the ball. Nice one-touch passing from Luzerne. They're in behind us. It's Nasala. Thankfully for us, though, he has blazed it, absolutely blazed it. But it's been a poor game so far. Now we've got the opportunity. It's Guilo with this deep free kick towards the back post, and Kitowski does get his head on the ball, but it's another one that's gone over the bar. And this is a very poor quality game, guys. Yeah, really, really poor. We've got an XG of 0.06. We have absolutely been dismantling teams in this league without end product. It's very similar to how Sunderland play in real life. We do very, very well in the Championship. We just haven't got a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. And that appears to be what's happening with us at the minute here at Grasshoppers. Of course, Luzerne did beat us last time out. Needs to be better, though. Needs to be better from Grasshoppers. We need to be in those top 2 places come the end of this Championship group to have any chance of winning the league. And I do think young boys will still come back into it as well. So we do need to be wary of that. We need to try and get ourselves as far ahead of young boys as we can. But Constantino lifting the ball forward towards Guilo. He's in behind. Can Guilo finish? He can. Cyprian Guilo with his 6th goal of the season finally gives Grasshoppers the lead just after half time. The team talk obviously worked. And that's been very similar of the types of goals that Guilo has scored this season. It's Constantino with it. It's a simple pass over the top towards Guilo in behind the defender, and it's a good finish by the Cypriot, I believe Guilo is. No, French. Constantino is the Cypriot, isn't he? Looking to make it 2 into the final 20 minutes of the game. It's a deep corner towards Kitowski, who does get his head in the ball, but Diaz clutches onto it in goal for Luzerne there. He's obviously going to pick out an option. This highlight's not over yet, guys, so don't tab back out yet. Stay here. It's Karels with the ball. Finds Constantino. He's got Kitowski ahead of him. Is Kitowski onside? He's hit the post anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We have put the ball in the back of that now through Guilo. Questions, though, of whether Kitowski was actually onside. It looked like he was off to me. Possibly came back just in time. That's where the ball should have been played. I think the right back might be playing him on, I think he is. And it's Guilo shows the desire to get ahead of Kitowski. But I think the right back has played Kitowski on there to make it 2-0, which is really, really good, especially after the beaters last time out. Guilo, again, deep ball towards that back post. Karels is there. It's a shocking header. Absolutely shocking header. We have brought Esteban on for Pena. He's picked up a little bit of a knock. Hopefully it's not too serious. But as we reach the full-time whistle, guys, that's a fantastic result. That extends our lead to the top of the table to 6 points. So we do have a little bit of daylight. Obviously, we're in with the big boys now in this Championship group. We've got far superior goal difference, though. We're having a really good season again. And again, it just shows you the power of a human manager versus the AI in Football Manager. It's just you can't, the AI struggle to compete with a team like Grasshoppers, who were promoted into the league last season. Struggled now down near the bottom when we took over. We've got them to where they are now, 6 points clear at the top in the space of a season, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's Luzerne out the way. That's the first game of the episode out the way. I've got 8 more to play through, including the young boys next, before we finish off the season at Basel. Hopefully we're in those top 2. If we're in those top 2, that'll be in next episode. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Just a quick side note, you may notice the episodes and the regularity is slowing down a little bit now. I'm still playing catch up from Denmark, believe it or not, and it's just finding the time to sit down and record some episodes. I'm only about 5 episodes ahead of you guys now as you're watching this, so it's finding the time to do it really. At one stage I was nearly 20 episodes ahead and I could just sort of work through them, but Denmark is absolutely totally buggered me basically in terms of what I've got in advance. So finding the time to do them, obviously it does take time to play through 8 games, for example. I probably won't finish recording this episode today, it'll probably be tomorrow. But yeah, I'm doing my best. We're getting there, guys. We really are getting there. But thank you very much for watching, as always. We have now, at the time of recording this video, we've passed 200 subscribers as well. So thank you very much for that. Really, obviously from the bottom of my heart, I mean it to each and every one of you. It's fantastic for me. But please remember to hit that like button, guys, and the subscribe button. If you want to come back, see any future episodes. And I'll see you in the second half of the episode where we take on Basel. Right, guys, welcome back to the second part of the episode. As I said at the end of the first part there, I didn't get the chance to record it on the same day. It's actually 2 days later. Today is the day that Lionesses have made the final in the World Cup. So congratulations to the Lionesses. Looking forward to the final on Sunday morning. Now hopefully we can go on and win that. What's happened since you were last with us here though? Obviously we beat Luzerne 2-0 in that one. We then beat Young Boys 1-0. Mario Pena with the only goal of the game in the 6th minute, which is fantastic. We've not done very well in the Championship group, to be fair. Picked up a defeat to Sion, which was a disappointing. Frey and Torfs with the goals. Savinin for us. We've not played the best of footballs. It's been a bit of a slog, really, in the Championship group. Basel were next up, 1-1. Again, quite disappointing. We will probably edge the game. I followed up with 1-0 against Neuchâtel Zamex as well. Katowski and Sanko with the goals. We were slightly better in this one, but just finding the back of the net's been really difficult. And Luzerne actually thumped us 3-1 in the next game. Nisiala bagged a hat-trick against us. All of the goals were pretty much the same. This was after Mario Pena had put us 1-0 up in this game. But disappointing result. We have bounced back, however. We bounced back with that with a 5-0 thumping of Young Boys. All the goals came in the first half as well. Mario Pena with the hat-trick, Aguilo and Savinin. You can see that Katowski's scoring's really started to fall off in the second half of the season here. But 5-0 against Young Boys was great. Sion 3-0. Bugman, Stojakovic and Karels with the goals in this one. A little bit of revenge for them beating us earlier on in the Championship group. And then Neuchâtel Zamex with the final game that we played 1-0 in that one. Today we are taking on Basel. We have actually qualified for the playoff to see who's going to be the champion. It's a question of it's going to be Sion or Young Boys who we play against. So that will obviously be in the next episode. Today we are going to take on Basel though, just to round the episode off. It's a little bit of a dead rubber as far as we're concerned. We do have an injury to Savonin in the central defence. Jarosz is now back as well. We're going to put Karels in alongside Jarosz in the centre half position, but it's pretty much our strongest squad with Gozolin, Rosman, Jarosz, Karels, Bauhofer, Polino, Constantinou, Bugman, Moretti, Esteban and Stojakovic. So it's not our strongest side, I beg your pardon. We're missing Pena, who's actually injured, 9 days to 3 weeks. And on the right hand side we have a bit of rotation. Like I say, it is a little bit of a dead rubber is this game. Right, 20 minutes on the clock and we're into our first highlight. It is Basel with the ball. It's Romaldo bringing the ball forward. It's a decent ball into the box, headed clear by Karels though, but we can't get there and the Basel player does now. It's Som in behind. Som's put it wide of the post. Should do much better there. Should the right winger there for Basel should at least hit the target. But Basel have started off the better teams. We've not really done anything going forward as of yet. It would be nice to win this game. A little bit of momentum going into that Championship playoff. Of course, there is 3 games in that. It's best of 3 basically. Little miniature league table. But as we get towards the half time, it is still Basel. It's Som with the ball striding inside onto that left foot. It's another wasted effort by the winger there for Basel. We've not got going yet though. This could be the opportunity. It's Rosman, ball forward towards Moretti. Is going to get there. Can he get the ball into the box? Comes back to Rosman instead, who does get the ball into the box. Goalkeeper comes out. Luque there claims that one commanding his area there, the goalkeeper. It's exactly what you expect from goalkeeper. Throws it out to Kilschmanen, to Souza, Mikkelsen, now bringing the ball forward. Needs to get a challenge in. He skipped past Constantinu as if he wasn't there, but Mikkelson's still going. Constantinu's done really well to get back to him. They've worked the ball into Delafeo. Now Sosa, ball forward to Pietron, beg your pardon, who has finished that really well. That's a nice attacking move there by Basel. And pretty much on the stroke of half time, we do find ourselves behind in this game. Not best pleased with that first half performance, if I'm honest. Looking at the match stats, we've been poor, really, haven't we? Poor. Of course, we do have a lot of changes in the squad. I realised before we kicked off, I said we haven't got many changes. There's actually quite a few changes. Yeah, not great. Not a great first half. Moretti just has not impressed me this season here in Switzerland. Of course, one of our signings. It's not very often that we get a signing wrong. We're going to make some changes, though. Esteban is going to have to stay on because Pena is injured. Of course he is. Stojakovic. Let's get Katowski on. Bugman's not having the best of games. We'll give young Demiri a game. Let's see how we get on. I realised I've missed a highlight there for Basel. Sorry guys, but it looks like they did miss the target. Thankfully. Now this could be our chance. We've got the signings on now. It's Guile getting the ball towards the byline. It does get there. He's got two players around him though. He's done really well to get away from them both. Cuts inside, still driving forward. Guile, what a goal that would have been. What a great run there by the Frenchman. Shame he couldn't put it in the back of the net. Guile with the corner though. In towards Karels. It's a shocking header from the standing centre half. Basel with a corner. Just over an hour gone. It's going to be Romaldo to take it. It's a deep one towards Soms. Soms hit the crossbar this time. Rosman with a poor clearance. Going to get a second opportunity to clear it though. As things are. I didn't realise, guys, that Sion and Young Boys are playing each other for that second spot. It's Sion, advantage Sion at the minute. Young Boys need to get a goal to get themselves into the Championship group. Otherwise, they're not going to be winning the title this season for the first time in quite a number of years. As we're into injury time at the end of our game, we are going to succumb to defeat here by the looks of it to Basel. We've performed a little bit better in the second half, but still not really offered the kind of what we're used to, really, in terms of our attacking prowess. Basel have just played better than us there. Unfortunately, like I said, we've had a difficult Championship group. The question is, who are we going to be against? It's Sion. We are taking on Sion in the Championship playoffs. So Young Boys, for the first time in quite a number of seasons, are not going to be participating in the playoff. They're not going to be participating in the playoff. It's going to be Grasshoppers against Sion. So that's next episode, guys. We've got 3 games left to play. Hopefully, it only takes 2 of them. But we don't have any previous fixtures to run through and stuff like that. So it's going to be straight into the games in the next episode. Disappointing to end the sort of regular season on a defeat, though. But we were comfortably at the top of the table. We did rotate fairly heavily in the end, really. And we do have missing players as well in terms of Mario Pena, who's been an absolutely fantastic player for us this season. But that is the end today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Not going to be too long until until the next episode. It's only the next game, which means I'm going to record it pretty much straight after I've finished recording this one. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please, like I said halfway through the episode, please remember to hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help me out massively. We've passed 200 subscribers, which is fantastic as well. So I'll see you all in the next episode in probably about 5 minutes in real life. I'll see you all in the next episode, guys. Cheers.